Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, we are live.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. As usual, while we wait for some people to come in and join the party,
Yes.
I'm just going to continue to talk about my day while we wait for people to come in.
Okay, that works for me.
Okay, so I have been looking for curtains to finish off the jungle, aka the library.
Mm-hmm.
And I originally bought these curtains and I thought they would look good in my bedroom, but it turns out they look really good in the library. I finally found a curtain rod that would look good with this whole setup. So I have curtains for my bedroom and curtains for the library. I was like, you know what? Today I'm going to put them up. Today I'm going to put them up. It's going to be cool. Got the little drill bits or whatever. Go to drill the holes in the wall. Everything is great until I realized that the metal of the window is further out than I thought. So 5 holes later, I'm still trying to figure out why I can't drill through this thing. So I call my dad and he's like, just put a little pressure on it. And I'm like, Dad, I'm not you, bro. I'm not
Right.
I'm not strong. He was just like, I just push it till it goes through. Do you, Dad? Do you?
Do you? Oh my God. Also, did we actually advertise this?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay, just making sure.
Oh, wait. I didn't actually put any advertisements up today. Hey, welcome. I figured that if no one comes, we can just talk about whatever.
Okay. I was like, did we tell anyone we were doing this?
I had planned on posting it earlier, but had some other crap happen in the house that I forgot all about that. I'm having a very annoying adulting day today. How are y'all doing today?
Oh, look, Read Love Listen says, greetings, finally have free time to attend a live. How are y'all?
Oh, what up?
We're hanging in there, look.
Oshalay's eating. I'm ready to just give up on being a homeowner, the regular.
That is so bleak. Wow. Wow. But anyway, since we got some people in the house, we're going to go ahead and get started. So tonight we're doing a Q&A. So we are taking questions. We will answer whatever, but
appropriate questions.
Obviously. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is Black Prose Podcast, where Black lives, Black voices, and Black stories have always mattered. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Oshalay of Oshi Reads.
I am Brittany from Melanin Eclectic on all platforms. Nice to see you guys tonight. If you came from last night and you popped back in today to say what's up, what up, twice.
Right. And if you didn't get a chance to catch our live last night, it was really great. We talked about the meaning of Mariah Carey, her autobiography, which was also co-authored by, oh my God, I feel terrible.
Michaela, shoot. I left my phone downstairs. Hold on, let me look it up because I never remember her name, and it's not that I'm deliberately trying to forget her name.
It was co-authored by, it's an M, you're right.
Michaela Angela Davis.
There we go, with Michaela Angela Davis. So we talked about that last night for a good 2 hours. It was a great live. We really went in depth. So if you have not read the book and you are planning on reading the book, I encourage you to read the book first. Get the audiobook.
A lot of spoilers.
Get the audiobook, please. You will thank us.
Please get the audiobook. It's so worth it.
Then revisit our live. If you have read it, you can just go catch it. It should be up by now, I think. It should be.
Yeah, it's definitely up.
So definitely go catch it.
It's about a 2-hour and 15-minute situation.
But we had a good old time talking about Mariah and her fabulous life, darling.
We really did. It was so good. It was just man. Oh, and then I remembered to bring my book pick of the next 2 months. I bought it upstairs.
Oh, I'm so excited. Let's start with that.
Okay. So the next book pick that we will actually be discussing in August is a mystery. So I actually received this book for my birthday from Miss WOC Reader. Shout out to you.
Nice.
And it is a mystery book written by a Black woman, a Florida A&M graduate to be specific.
Oh, wow.
And it is called Hollywood Homicide by Kelly Garrett.
I now
And
have to look it up.
I'm going to read you the synopsis.
Oh, okay.
Because why not? So it says Dana Anderson doesn't set out to solve a murder. All the semi-famous, mega broke actress wants is to help her parents keep their house. So after witnessing a deadly hit and run, she pursues the 15 grand reward. But Dana soon finds herself doing a full-on investigation, wanting more than just money. She wants justice for the victim. She chases down leads at paparazzi hotspots, celeb homes, and movie premieres, loving every second of it until someone tries to kill her. And there are no second takes in real life.
Okay, so that sounds really interesting. Can I just say something that's really just, I need to say it. It's burning.
Say it.
Why does the illustration on the cover look like LaToya Luckett? I just need to know. Was she the inspiration?
I don't know. Like, I don't know who the artist was for the cover, but now that you said that, I can't unsee it, and that's funny.
See?
That's funny.
It looks just like her.
I feel like Black Prose has never read a mystery book as a group, so this will be the first mystery book that we add. And apparently it's the first in a whole series.
Oh, God.
So if I end up liking it.
What have you started?
Because I haven't read a, what is it called? I haven't read a mystery book or even multiple mystery books outside of Agatha Christie in a very long time. Like, okay. I used to destroy Agatha Christie mystery novels. I was obsessed at one point.
They were good.
I think it was like my junior year of high school or something. Yeah. Because my dad actually bought me like the collection of Agatha Christie.
Oh, goodness.
So you know how like you can buy the Sherlock Holmes one where it's like just a gigantic novel?
Gigantic bind up, yeah.
Yeah, I had a gigantic bind up of Agatha Christie novels.
That's so intense. Do you still own that?
Yeah, it's somewhere in my mom's house. I told her if she finds it, don't throw it away.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to go on my shelf, but I kind of want to see if I can find one with the pretty binding so that it just, graces my shelf and looks all pretty.
Okay, I need to add to my comment.
Are you still looking at the cover?
Yes, I zoomed in, right?
Okay.
And I was like, she actually looks like the love child hybrid of LaToya Luckett and Janae Aiko.
Wow, you're doing the most today.
I just can't. Just keep looking at this cover and I'm just like, whoa.
Let me add the banner here where it'll just show at the bottom that it's like, hey, this is the next book that we're reading.
Okay, sounds good. I'm trying to see. I don't think I can find it at my library. There is an audiobook. Let's see. I'm trying to see how I can get my hands on this book.
Yeah, but I guess I definitely should have done that. I think I'm actually going to read this book instead of audiobook it because I don't like listening to mystery books via audiobook.
It's scary.
It's not even scary. It's like I'm that person that really be trying to guess what's happening and I need to underline my clues.
Okay, that makes sense. I get scared and I need to be able to like skip a couple pages or paragraphs if I get too scared. Does anyone else do this? Okay. So does anyone else do this where when you're reading, you get really anxious? It may not even be like a scary book or anything, but you just get really anxious. Like I do this a lot when I'm reading romances and things just get really anxious or something super embarrassing is about to happen to the main character.
I actually do that with movies.
You do it with movies?
Because let me rephrase. I do it with movies that I've already watched. If I've never watched a movie, then I suck it up and I deal with whatever is happening. But if it's a movie I've already seen and I still get angsty, even after, I will more than likely fast forward. Or if it's like a show that I love, like right now I'm rewatching Call the Midwife. And there are multiple scenes where I have actually fast forwarded through them because even though I know what's happening, I still don't want these problems.
It's like, I can't experience this right now.
Right.
I've been having a good day so far, so we just going to fast forward.
Basically, that's basically it. Yeah.
I do the same thing and you're going to laugh at me, but I love to watch, like my guilty pleasure is literally to watch like the most corny, like childhood. Like I have watched and rewatched High School Musical multiple times. Like
High School Musical is a bop and it always will be. But you know what you should watch for real entertainment?
What?
High School Musical, the musical, the series.
Oh Lord.
It is terrible. But me and my sisters enjoy watching it. It's one of those things where it's like we might end up laughing the whole time about how terrible it is, but we definitely have set a time aside to watch it together.
But like, you know how embarrassing things always happen in those like teen, like I keep thinking about this one particular one that was a Disney. I love rewatching Disney Channel movies, y'all, like from back in the day.
Now I will rewatch a Disney Channel movie in a
heartbeat. Okay. Like one of my favorites, I think, was called Si Se Puedo.
Oh, Si Se Puedo.
You remember Si Se Puedo? Okay. And there was always like really embarrassing things happening. Or I'll rewatch like Bug Juice, which was this one show on Disney Channel way back in the day about this summer camp, and also embarrassing things would happen then. Camp Rock, some embarrassing things went down, and I just be fast forward, and I'm like, I can't relive this with you right now. Or a Cinderella story with Hilary Duff.
Oh my God, no.
She goes through so much.
All of the different Cinderella movies.
Yes, every single one. Because wasn't there one with Selena Gomez too?
There was.
Where that one was like bad.
That one was absolutely terrible. And I love watching it.
And can we talk about how her love interest, Drew Seeley, was definitely like a grown man and she was a child in that movie? Can we just discuss that? Because she was like 15 and he was definitely like 30. That was her love interest.
He was supposed to be a teenager with his black funny sidekick. I was like, why?
Look. But yeah, I do that with books too. Like, I would literally, sorry, y'all, I'm eating my dinner. I would literally like skip a couple pages just to make sure everything's okay. Or I'll like skip a couple paragraphs because I just can't handle it. Like, I'm just like,
oh my God. Okay, so there's a series that so Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron, her second book, Reaper of Souls.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you, I went online, it was like, I was literally looking for someone to spoil it for me.
Really?
Because I was like, I need to know what happens, but I'm not reading fast enough. And I was like, just tell me.
You were that anxious?
Are they going to be alive or not?
That's hilarious. I do that sometimes too, where it's like, I just want to know if they live. So what I'll do in a series is I'll read the synopsis of the next book. And if it starts out after the tragedy of the massacre or the murder of or the death of, I'm like, God,
I never even thought to do that. First of all, that's the second book. So the third book hasn't even been like talked about.
Oh, okay.
And Rena Barron or Kingdom of Souls is one of the few series where I'm reading it as soon as it comes out, because every time I reread the first book, I'm getting new information. So I've reread Kingdom of Souls twice already. And then after I reread it, I went and jumped into Reaper of Soul. And then I'm doing the same thing with the Last Magician series.
Okay.
I reread the first two. So that's The Last Magician and the Devil's Serpent. No, The Devil's something. And then the third book is A Serpent's Curse that just came out like 2 months ago. Yeah. And now I got to read that one. But that one's like 800 pages. And I'm like,
holy.
I feel like my soul is going to be very anxious. Like certain books I can't read at night.
Yeah.
Because I get so anxious that I just have to stay up to finish reading it.
Yeah, you got to finish
otherwise my mind is not going to shut up.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What was the last book that you like boo-hooed cried?
Oh my gosh. Hold on. I have to pull up my Goodreads where I keep track of the books that I read, because I have to see like which book came first.
Oh, wow.
Because I've only read 17 books this year, which is crazy.
That's still pretty good.
Oh no, it's still great. It's just, I'm always shocked, like, wow. Let's see.
Very curious about this.
I am just scrolling. What is the last book that made me boohoo cry? There's so many books in here, though.
I feel like if you can't remember, that's not bad.
I can't remember. Because, like, I remember the book that comes to mind. Oh, my God. I remember what it was.
Oh, what was it?
Night of the Dragon. The
Really?
third book in the Shadow of the Fox series.
Oh, that's true. You did talk about how you
I
cried.
was emotionally done, like done. And yeah, I know a lot of people did not like that book, but for me and the way that my mind visualizes, it really set up like a full blown anime. And like I heard the anime music and everything, and it was a lot. And I was literally crying for like a good portion of that book because
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's sad.
I never cry. I've never cried with books, but I do with movies. Okay. Well, what is the last movie that you ugly cried on?
Yeah, let us know.
Okay. I'm going to say this because we're just chilling tonight. So, Disney Plus has just given me the things I need to just pass the time. Like, I will watch Parent Trap over and over and over again, right?
You're right.
So I decided that I was going to check out the new DuckTales, not the old DuckTales from when we were younger, but the new one that came out like a couple years ago. And it's 3 seasons. And so one turns out that the triplets have a mom.
Oh.
That was a whole story. That didn't get me. I didn't get emotional at all. Nope. It wasn't until the series finale. I legit cried. I was like, there's so much happening in this. And like, oh my God, you gave this character his moment. This is so...
Oh my God, Brittany.
I was like, I don't know if I'm just being like real emotional right now or if this is like really something to cry about.
Holy crap. Ow. But you know what? Cartoons do be getting you.
I mean, listen.
They really do. And it's like, I don't understand how I got here, but here we are.
Every Pixar movie. Almost every.
Pixar
I'm trying
movie.
to think. Was the only Pixar movie that I did not cry in was Monsters University.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I think. But Monsters Inc. Oh, I ugly cried.
Oh, ugly crying. Like
ugly cried.
All of them. Like Wall-E, Up, like every single one.
Oh, Up destroyed me.
Oh, destruction. In the first 10 minutes of the movie.
The first 10 minutes of the movie, I didn't cry, but I was shook.
I was done. I was emotionally a wreck. I was like, roll me out of this theater. I'm done. And it's like only the beginning of the movie. And I'm like, here we are. Oh, you know what movie really, really took me by surprise and like really made me cry?
Which one?
It was a movie musical. It's probably the most recent movie musical I've seen. And it was The Greatest Showman.
What's funny is I've never seen The Greatest Showman.
Oh my God, it's so good.
I listened to the album and I'm obsessed with the album.
I literally cried my eyes out just within the first 5 to 8 minutes of the movie. Like I was literally like, oh my God. Oh, it was so bad. I was in a theater. I went to see it with a friend and we were both crying.
Man, I wish Troy was on here because you know the last movie I cried on, the Demon Slayer movie.
Yeah. It's so sad when y'all talk about it because I'm just like, ooh.
I mean, okay. I mean, it's an anime movie. So somebody dying is not abnormal.
It's so depressing.
It's just that they did it in such a way where, like, if you didn't feel any emotions towards it, you have no soul.
Oh, wow.
Like,
they were going for the tears.
Man, I was in the theater because, you know, we were wearing masks or whatever. And like, it was only like 10 of us total in the theater because of the way that they have social distancing and stuff on it. And I swear to God, all of us were sitting there with our hands on our mouths. And like, you could hear other people whispering, but I was literally like, fight. Oh my God. Don't do this. I was like, oh, no.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I had friends who read the manga and they knew that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And they were still fucked up.
Read Love Listen says it was Jingle Jangle. I still haven't watched that. I heard so many great things about that Netflix Christmas movie. And
Jingle Jangle made me feel very good. And I really want to do like very loud, bright Victorian era style clothing from it.
So how do you feel about this like weird scandal that's going on with the In the Heights movie that's coming out soon?
It already came out. You mean the one where he forgot that the Heights has dark skinned people in it?
Yeah, that. Oh, it already came
I
out? Ooh, where have I been?
Yeah, it already came out. That's why he came out with that apology, because he got dragged.
Yes, because it was like, isn't this supposed to take place in Washington Heights?
Yes.
That's a Black neighborhood.
They were like, so you could even get Afro Latinas in here? Like,
Yeah, it's like an Afro-Latina neighborhood. I'm confused.
yeah, it was like, so
Or
you
Afro-Latino, excuse me.
and it was like, it's like cool, like there could be other races there and other colors or whatever.
I mean,
Cool,
it's
but like,
definitely diverse, but from what I remember of Washington Heights, it's probably a little bit, tiny bit more gentrified now. But from what I remember of it, it was a majority Black. I mean, yes, the culture is Latin. It's a Latin Spanish culture, but the race is Black. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So I'm just kind of like, huh, interesting. But I mean, are we really shocked though? Like, people were like going in on it. I'm glad don't get me wrong, I'm glad he's being held accountable and stuff. But I'm also just kind of like, I mean, I'm not surprised that this is what happened. Have you seen the Broadway show? I'm pretty sure the cast is just as whitewashed on the Broadway show. I've never seen the show, but I'm pretty sure that it's not like vastly different.
I haven't. I mean, obviously, the only Broadway show I've seen of Lin-Manuel Miranda's is Hamilton, so I have no input whatsoever on that one. Also, The Best Man Holiday.
Oh my God, The Best Man Holiday wrecked my soul. I thought I was gonna be okay, and then I wasn't.
I really thought it was gonna be one of those like feel good nostalgia kind of movies, and it really gave us that moment where we thought that that's what it was, and then it was like, just kidding.
Yeah, it flipped on us in the last quarter.
Yeah, we're about to have a real like coming together moment. I might be snotting in the audience, but it's fine. I was like, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot.
Oh yeah. Man, there are all these think pieces about In the Heights. This is hilarious.
Oh yeah, because how do you make a movie about an area and not include the majority of the people that are in the area?
They're also talking about colorism, because I guess they have like Black men but no dark-skinned Black women.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not new, but it's just so interesting because I look at Lin-Manuel and I just don't expect him to do that. Like, I expect him to do exactly what he did. You know what I mean? That sounds terrible, but it's true. Like, I expect him to do what he did, which is represent himself and people that look like him. But I'm glad he's being held accountable, but it's not a shock. He sure could cast Black Latinx folks in Hamilton, and they sure can cast them for slave servant roles. Ooh!
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's how it always is. It's almost gotten to the point where we always call them out and we always talk about it, but nothing ever changes. Have y'all noticed that? Like, they always get called to the carpet, and it's almost like they do it knowing that they're going to get called to the carpet, and they just have their apology like written ahead of time. Like, that's how it feels now. It's like, oh, I'm just going to put out this little apology. It's fine. But I mean, I'm curious about the movie. I've never seen the Broadway show, so I can't compare it to the show, but I'm very curious about the movie.
I have HBO Max, so maybe one of these days I'll check it out, but I don't know. Once I feel like if the group of people that it's supposed to represent are pissed, it's kind of hard for me to want to support it after that, because I'm like, well, they would know if you're offending them.
Oh my goodness. You want to know something hysterical?
What?
I'm really behind. Apparently they're remaking West Side Story.
As what?
The cast is laughable.
But why? Like, what do you mean? Like, they're doing a movie, another Broadway?
They're doing a movie of West Side Story, and it comes out December of this year. And I'm looking at the cast, and I'm just shaking my head. Go look it up and look at the cast.
I'm scared.
First of all, why does Ansel Elgort have a role in this film? That's the first
How did
question. I have.
Okay, West Side Story.
Also, why is Maddie Ziegler the girl who was in all those Sia music videos, and I think she also was on Dance Moms? Why is she in this film? That's my second
Because
question.
it's supposed to be a dance movie?
But it looks like she has a major role.
I don't even know. I don't even want to look. My body is like, sis, we don't need this.
Well, at least they got Maria right, somewhat. The girl playing Maria.
Hacks. I heard about Hacks.
What's
Rita
that?
Listen says, I got HBO Max too, but I'll pass. But you should watch Hacks. It's funny.
Oh, what's that?
Mm-hmm. You know another show on HBO Max where the first season was lit?
What?
But the second season has been really disappointing? Black Lady Sketch Show.
I heard that.
It's like,
I feel like
Quinta's gone and it shows.
Well, I also feel like with the show like that, there's only so much you can do with it.
Well, the thing is, some of the sketches that they have potential to actually be funny, but they're just not.
But they're not.
Yeah. It's like the black girl courtroom thing is still my favorite sketch because that's really how it happens when you see other black women working in your place.
Right.
But it's just like this season, I mean, I might have chuckled a couple of times, but I have not outright died on anything.
I'm sorry, but my favorite sketch comedy show next to Mad TV will always be Whose Line Is It Anyway? And that's just not going to change. Because I always die laughing watching reruns of that show, like crying laughing. That does not happen with SNL or any of the other ones.
Oh, I don't remember the last time SNL, some of their skits have me laughing.
I like Wild 'N Out sometimes, but most of the time I don't think it's funny.
Oh, certain sketches with Wild 'N Out also make me laugh.
The old episodes.
Oh my gosh, I've gone back. Well, back when I had cable and I would go back and watch Teen Nick because they would show like the old shows at night. All that still makes me laugh.
All that is hilarious. Those kids were funny.
They needed to get they did not get the love that they deserve. I know they bought all that back, but I've heard literally nothing about it.
Okay, so this is my take. I haven't watched it, but this is how I decided not to watch it. I watched the opener.
Oh no.
Because the opener is so iconic from the old show.
Yes.
So I was curious about the new show, so I watched the opener for the new show and I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this.
Oh no.
Just from the opener, I was like, because the opener on the old one, I can't explain it. Like, you just knew something good was about to happen.
The song itself is lit. It's like you heard the music and you knew that it was time for all that.
But you just also knew something really good was about to happen. Like something really interesting.
Get set. It's all that. Plus, TLC did the opening.
They did
not really get much. Like the 90s intros were bomb because they had actual singers,
artists doing it. Also, we talk about how the All That cast just seemed genuine and just real funny kids, and the new All That cast seems very deliberately diverse. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
When you look at them, you're like, okay.
It's kind of how back in the day, you remember how Disney Channel was hella diverse back in the day?
Just naturally.
Right. And then now Disney Channel compensates by having that one black snarky sidekick in every one of their shows now.
Or they'll just have
cartoons.
Or they'll just have the one black show, the one show with all the black people on it. It's just weird. I feel like the diversity in the past was a lot more natural.
Yeah.
And it was a lot more balanced because the white people had their shows and the black people had our shows, and it was all good. We weren't crying to be on the white shows and they didn't care that we had our show. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I feel now
we had diversity in show in a lot of different ways than the way that they do it now. Now they use diversity as episodes rather than just having diversity. It'll be oh my God, guys, she's gay. Meanwhile, bruh, this is your episode. Why can't she just be in the show minding her own business?
Yeah, it feels forced, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It feels forced and it feels very like PC and very formulaic. It doesn't feel organic. And they've kind of tokenized the diverse characters, whether they be diverse by sexual orientation, race.
Oh, and then they also play on the stereotypes like a motherfucker. Like
they do. They over exaggerate stereotypes. I don't know. It's just it feels icky. Like maybe I'm over glamorizing the past and I'm glossing it over or whatever, and I'm not really remembering how it was, but it just doesn't feel like I even go back sometimes and watch old shows and it just didn't feel forced like it does now.
Yeah, we might be biased. I don't know.
We might also be biased. Yeah, I think about that too. I'm like, well, nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
It really is.
Maybe that's what it is.
Because we're all at that age now. We're like, well, the shows that we used to watch as a kid were lit.
But are we wrong? Because I've gone back to rewatch and it's still entertaining.
I mean, there are a couple of shows that don't hit now that I'm older, but for the majority of it, what I'm really waiting for is to somebody give me access to old Nickelodeon shows so I can see, like, was it really bomb.com or was I delusional? Because in my mind, As Told by Ginger, Braceface,
you can watch all that stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, but I want it to be I want to stream it like I do whatchamacallit, like I do Disney, because like Pepper Ann, one day we're gonna have to talk about how Pepper Ann was just so ahead of its time.
It really was.
So ahead of its time, because I will never forget the boob episode, but it was just so far ahead of its time. Like, also, Read Love Listen said, kids notice it too. I've talked to my kids and cousins and they hate Nick and Disney nowadays. Kids rather watch YouTube, TikTok, or play games.
See? It's very forced. It doesn't feel genuine. And I think it's interesting that kids can notice that because it's the truth. Yeah,
I don't know who they're hiring to like figure out their shows. And it's like Cartoon Network. You realize like Cartoon Network doesn't even come up in this conversation anymore because so many of the shows on Cartoon Network are for adults. They are not for kids.
This is true.
It's like, or rather, they might be for kids, but like adults are like the number one fans of the shows.
Right.
Like, I'm sure there were kids that love Steven Universe, but as a 30-some-year-old woman, I was obsessed with that show.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's interesting now because there are people whose whole YouTube platforms are literally just them dissecting old shows from the 90s and 2000s and talking about them and talking about the themes of them and what they were about and how they were ahead of their time or how they're different from today's shows. Like literally whole YouTube platforms where that's all people talk about, which is interesting because I've a lot of times find myself watching like some of these videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. So true. So true.
Sorry. My sister was trying to call me and I was like, sis, podcast. And every time I push cancel, she called me right back. I'm like, no.
Your sister is a mess. I feel like this happens every time we have a podcast.
It does, because especially if I forget to say, hey, I'm doing a podcast, I will get calls. I'm like, no.
It's like, call her again. Call her again. Call her again. Call her again. Oh, too funny. Well, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, apparently. Oh, okay. This is what I heard this morning because I'm not on social media like that no more. But I heard of this from a YouTuber I like to watch called I Am Eloho.
Oh, God.
I know you don't like her. But
I'm not a fan of Eloho, but what happened?
I like her a lot. Essentially, apparently, there's this whole thing going on Black Twitter where they were trying to cancel Cater to You by Dusty.
No!
What is happening?
It's all these Gen Z idiots talking about like, we don't do that kind of stuff no more. Like, this is making this got women out here doing stuff they don't need to do. And Michelle Williams responded and I screamed.
What did she say?
She basically said, don't blame us for y'all catering to busted Negroes. We didn't say do this for everybody. We said the right man deserves to be catered to.
But here's the thing.
Y'all are mad at us and trying to cancel us because you make bad decisions.
But here's the thing. It literally I'm like, has anyone listened to the song? Because in the lyrics of the song, it tells you that the guy is like a good guy who's there for her, provides for her, takes care of her, gives her what she needs. So that's why she's catering to him. Like that's
Right.
literally
And
the
that's why
lyrics.
Michelle Williams was like, we did not say cater to every dusty one that comes your way. Like, what? That,
so
like, her
confused.
response had me screaming because the youngins were pissed.
I was like, cater to you is a bob. Are we really trying to cancel cater to you?
Like, we will never cancel anything in this variety. Y'all just need to reevaluate what you're doing. Like, no.
Like, y'all have gone too far. Like, first, y'all were making fun of people for wearing skinny jeans. Because I guess straight leg is in. You know that whole thing with the jeans where they were talking about,
yeah. I refuse to listen to somebody who still has to ask their parents to break their curfew to tell me what I can and can't wear.
Well, there's that. And I also refuse to listen to a generation that was doing the Tide Pod challenge.
Actually, the generation that's talking about the jeans was the generation after Tide Pods.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's how young they are. Yes.
That's even worse.
Speaking of, though, can we talk about how Black TikTok went on strike this weekend and it was the best thing I have ever seen?
Wait, why?
Okay, so you know how Black creators are the people that create TikTok dances.
Yes.
And white creators get all the credit.
They do.
Get invited to TV shows to give these mediocre wash down versions of the dances, all that stuff.
With their no rhythm selves, Lord.
Right. Well, you know, Nicki Minaj has that song where it says, I'm a Black Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how Nicki Minaj said that she specifically said Black Barbie to uplift Black women?
Yeah.
Well, the white women have decided that they were going to take that specific part of the song and quote it while they're singing on TikTok. And everybody's like, out of every part of the song, that's the part that you had to do. Like, this is not for you. So, of course, all the white girls were like, oh, y'all always make this about race. You're just tripping. This is just a song. It's not that serious.
It's always just a song and it's never that serious for them.
Right. So Black Twitter said, bet. Since y'all think that y'all can just run all over us and tell us to bite it, we are not coming up with a dance for thought shit.
Oh.
Girl.
Wow.
Over the weekend, if you clicked on that sound.
Wow.
It was a lot of Caucasian women doing everything but what Megan said in the song.
Really?
It was like instead of hands on my knees, they were just flailing their hands in the air and walking backwards. Offbeat still.
Because they didn't have a dance to copy.
They didn't have a dance to copy. And then a couple Black creators made dances. Them shits are complicated as hell.
Good. They can't be learned.
I was like, honestly, if one of them manages to do this the way that you did it, they deserve to do it.
They deserve it.
I was like, oh, and then the funniest part was on that post, there were white people like, they weren't even dancing on beat. And then somebody was like, sweetie, she not only danced on beat, but she danced on the offbeat as well, because that's how you can, like, that's what real dancers can do. Right. Like, they were doing hand things, but their butt was still shaking to the downbeat of the song. And it was throwing white people off. And then they were like, can we get a slowed down version? And they were like, no.
Oh my goodness.
It was fantastic. I don't think I've laughed so hard in such a long time. Like, I was like crying. Wow. And then Black people made it worse because they were going on the TikToks of the white girls clearly not doing anything great. And they were like, ooh, bitch, I see you stiff. We got you.
No. Damn. Look, I want to almost. No, I don't feel bad for the white.
I'll send you the clip. I screen recorded it to send it to my friend who also refused to get a TikTok. I was crying because it's just blatant. And then they're getting mad at us because we're going and commenting because, like, mind you, they're doing these mediocre, these terrible dances, right? Yep. And they still have millions of views.
Of course.
Millions of views.
Of course. Because TikTok, the algorithm is going to push them above the Black creators, period. Like, when I go on TikTok, you have to, like, look for the Black creators, and you have to literally dig to find out who originated the choreography. You have to dig and dig and dig. that's the TikTok algorithm, and TikTok is a known racist app that was created by people who are racist. I mean, this is nothing new. This is not sensational. This is literally facts. You can look into it.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Like, I'm probably going to record some TikToks at some point because I do like posting short videos, and I do need to do some more for my business. I've been slacking a lot on the business side. Not gonna lie, I've been very unmotivated, and it's been extremely difficult dealing with this unmotivation. But I'm gonna get back to it. But yeah.
No, I mean, I think TikTok is a genius app. I mean, it was formerly Musical.ly, so
yeah.
But I think it's a great idea, and I think you can really create a name for yourself. I just think in that particular sphere of TikTok, when it comes to choreography, I just think it's really hard for Black creators and creators of color because of the way the algorithm is set up. Now, of course, you can say, oh, the algorithm overall is not kind to, creators of color. And I
mean, that's like literally every algorithm of every social media platform.
Exactly. So I guess you could say that, but to me personally, from what I've seen, I just think it's particularly bad for the dancers.
And then on TikTok, like, I had to like cater my For You page to give me more Black people because I wasn't getting any Black people at first. That's so I had to search the hashtag Black TikTok to find Black TikTok.
That's every social media.
I know. And that's so ridiculous. It's just like, wow, we're still doing this. I see. Yes, absolutely. We're still doing this. And then here goes, I don't know why you make this all about race. You guys are actually the problem. Oh, and my favorite, I don't know why y'all are so mad. Y'all are so mad, and here y'all are wearing blue contacts and blonde wigs of our hair. First of all,
that is always a very interesting argument.
And there's also a huge argument about Caucasian women with very thin, looser hair textures wearing box braids. And what I find funny is that originally it started off as Black women being like, hey, this particular style is not good for your hair. It will break your hair off. It's just not good.
Right.
And then when white girls got mad, it's just hair. I don't understand why you're making a big deal about this. Like, y'all don't even wear y'all own hair. Y'all steal from our culture. And it's like, first of all, blonde is not a culture. It's a genetics.
Right. It's a gene.
It's a recessive gene, sis.
Yeah.
You're that recessive that it came up on you. Think about that. But then it was like, fine, you know what? Like, and then they start posting videos of them having to shave their head because they have bald spots.
I mean, this is the thing. I think it's very strange to be a part of a culture that constantly wants to appropriate everything from other people. And you're not just okay with what you have. And it's not even like, because I'm one of those people that I'm not that person that's going to call everything cultural appropriation. Like, at the end of the day, I think that a lot of cultures borrow from each other. I think there was a huge debate going on a couple years back about Bruno Mars and if he was a culture appropriator and stuff like that. And I'm always on the side of like not being so strict with cultural appropriation. But
I don't feel bad. It's give credit or get dragged is really where my mind
goes.
Give
credit or get dragged. But I just find it odd that you just want to be a part of everything so bad that even things that are clearly not for you, you still want to take, and you want to take credit for it, and you want to rename it, and you want to rewrite history to make it look like you came up with it. Like, it's like a certain type of psychosis. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, I'm just like, but why? Why can't you just be like, you know what? This is not for me. This is for this type of hair type. I don't have that hair type. I think it looks beautiful on them, and I'm going to admire it on them. I don't need to have it. It's for them. It's for their hair type, their culture. Cool. It's like, I don't know. I just think it's a certain type of weird. It's got to be some type of weird mental illness. I know that sounds really harsh. I just don't know what else it could be because it just doesn't make sense.
They want to try on Black like clothing and take it off every night before they brush their teeth.
And I get it because it's like a lot of times Black culture is like the trends, you know.
We're the shit. Like, we are the innovators, the blueprint.
We create the trend, right? And everybody wants to be trendy, but it's like, you got to draw a line somewhere. It's like some things it's kind of like with all trends, you can't wear every trend. You can't have every trendy hairstyle. You can't, like, some things are just not going to be for you. And that's got to be okay. You got to make peace with it. But yeah,
that's the whole other thing.
And the hair conversation when it comes to us is so much deeper. And I think that's where non-Black people can show their ignorance, because it's like, you don't understand that especially in America, I can't speak for every colonized nation, but especially in America, colonized nation, and also nation where chattel slavery occurred, Black people had to assimilate to the culture in order to have jobs.
There was this girl.
There was during Jim Crow.
Yeah, there was this girl. She looks Asian. And I'm not going to say, I don't know what she was specifically, but she looks Asian. And she literally posted a video where she has these cornrows with these beads that obviously you got them from the hair store, beads, right? And she's like, oh, I really enjoy wearing this hairstyle, but I got to take this hairstyle out because I got a job interview tomorrow. And it's like, this is exactly what we're talking about. Like,
right.
You wear us like clothes and then take us off. And that's the problem. It's like, oh, so wait, you can't wear that style to your job interview?
Nope.
You was wearing it out with your girlfriends when you was out here doing whatever. Like, it was cool then, but oh, it's not professional enough for you?
No.
You don't see a problem with that?
It's a cognitive dissonance, and it's a lack of education to understand why Black people have this. Black people,
it's really
especially
hard
in the
for
West,
me to consider it a lack of education now, because social media is just so, you can find this information so easily on social media now that I don't believe it's ignorance anymore.
Well, I would call it willful ignorance, because there are people who just don't want to learn. They're just like, no. They don't want to take that time to really understand it. They would just rather run with the narrative of, well, you know, you straighten your hair and you do this and you do that. Like, why can't I have braids? And why can't I have, my favorite, dreadlocks? And why can't
First of all, anytime they say dreadlocks and it's a white person, it's always like these little string things.
And personally, I literally could care less if you decide to get box braids, if you decide to lock your hair. I'm not going to be the person dragging you on social media.
When that shit falls out, I'm going to just be there laughing.
I'm the person shaking my head, because I'm just like, it's not healthy for your scalp. Like, your hair texture can't withstand the weight of the hair.
It started off as a nice warning, and then they got all in their feelings because, you know, once you tell them they can't do something, they got offended. And it was like, well, you know what? Go on and let it fall out.
Yes.
Go ahead. It's going to fall out.
It always cracks me up when I see like the Black hairstylists putting the box braids in.
Me too, because the way that they snatch those girls' edges, I'm like, I was like, oh my God, y'all ain't gonna have no edges after this hairstyle, because she took all of it and put it in that braid. It looks painful.
Also, it's like they'll put the box braids in and they'll only have it in for like a day or 3. And I'm just like, all of that time. All of that money.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, oh, I have to take it out in 2 to 3 days or I'm gonna have problems. And I'm just like, okay, you just paid $150, $200 something to get box braids for 48 hours.
Yep.
Why? It's just like
I saw one girl, she was like crying because like she said it was so tight and her scalp was like purple. I was like, first of all, ow.
No trend is worth this. I'm sorry.
I was like,
no.
I've never seen a purple scalp from box braids before. Never seen that in my life. That looks like the most painful thing I've ever seen. She gripped you, your soul, and your spirit. Cause what? I was like, oh my God. I was like, purple?
That is
you look like your scalp got her ass whooped.
Yeah, that's not good. But yeah, I don't know. Because I also see it too with biracial girls who have looser hair textures. Yeah. And they probably shouldn't get box braids either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, oh.
But they were trying out the styles because, yes, I've seen that too. But like, they got I have a friend, she's biracial. She tried to get box braids once. And my mom told her, like, my mom was like, I don't think that your hair texture can get box braids. And she was like, boo, like her mom brought her over to our house after, and she was like crying. And my mom was like, she was like, she got to take these out. Look at her scalp. And then her mom was like, her mom had told her that the lady told her that all she needed to do was take a hot shower. Because you know how when we get our hair done,
we can do that and it'll just
take a hot shower to kind of release. And it's like, but you about to take this baby girl hair out. Like, what are you doing?
I know. Oh my gosh, this comment from Read, Love, Listen is hilarious because I can relate to this. I grew up in the burbs and it would be so funny when someone was over and the white girls who went to Jamaica came back with these dark tan skin cornrow braids talking about we look the same. Yes, if I had $1 for every time in middle school or high school, one of my white friends would come home like from Hawaii, Jamaica, the Caribbean somewhere with their cornrows going straight back and their darker tan and being like, and hold their arm up next to mine and be like, oh my gosh, we're almost the same color now. And I would just be like, yeah, okay, never say that again. Like, it's just like, what?
Yeah.
But it would be so innocently said
until the States, and I was very confused.
It would be so innocently said that you know they didn't mean anything malicious by it, but in your mind, you're just like, okay, so your skin is going to go back to being white in a couple weeks. I'm black for life. Like, you know, it's like we're not almost the same now.
I got sent to the principal's office for that mess my senior year.
But they would be saying it so innocent that you're just like, oh, they don't even understand the implications of what they're
doing. I went for the jugular.
You did? Oh my gosh, what did you say?
I was like, I told one girl, I was like, that is not dark skin tone. That is skin cancer. Because it was. But you know, when I was younger, my mouth, I mean,
I'm done.
I said whatever I wanted to say, however I wanted to say it, no matter whose feelings got hurt. I have really grown as a person.
You know what? Let me just say this, Brittany. I commend you because I work for a dermatologist's office, and you are damn right. If you are a Caucasian or someone of a paler skin tone, there is no way in this God's green earth and Beyonce's lifetime where you should be tanning to that complexion. Okay, where you can be holding your arm up next to mine saying we almost the same, we look the same. Yeah. That is a recipe for disaster. You need to be wearing sunscreen. You need to be under them big umbrellas. You need to be taking breaks inside. Like that is melanin. I have seen way too many older Caucasian people come into the office and, you know, now they have skin cancer. Now they have all these problems. So look, PSA.
Also, PSA to my Black people, we still need sunscreen. And you can still put sunscreen on if you have makeup on.
Yes. Amen.
Anyways, back to what I was saying. Like one time I even got in trouble because I was like, maybe it's melanin. Maybe it's melanoma.
Brittany, get out of this live stream.
When I was younger, I was out of pocket to people who didn't even deserve to be out of pocket. And like now that I'm older, I'm like, Britt, you were out of control.
Not maybe it's melanoma. Sorry, I can't. I literally can't breathe.
Again, now that I'm older, I realize that there should have been a more tactful way of engaging in that conversation and actually stating to them how I didn't like. You know, I should have used my words. Instead, I used my words for violence. I'm very aware, but when I was younger, my mouth was lethal.
I can't get over that. Maybe it's melanoma shit. That is wild. And you know what it is? It's like they truly don't understand that what they're saying is harmful in any way. And it's so interesting because that's where you have to understand the difference between like people who are knowingly being microaggressive towards you and people who just have no clue. It literally is just like, because the concept of race and racial disparity is so foreign to them due to who they are and in society and in their status that they can't even fathom that what they're saying to you could be making you uncomfortable. And that's a whole new level of just like frustration on your side because it's like you're upset, but then you feel like you can't be upset because they don't know what they're saying, but you're still upset at the end of the day.
I mean, especially as like kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but again, like I said, I was also a kid. So it's like.
Right? It's like a
I can only forgive myself for so much because like I said, my mouth my clapbacks were of a lethal variety because I was going through a lot as a teenager and I wasn't able to articulate or properly communicate what I was going through. So it manifested in a lot of anger, and anger always presented clapbacks. Like,
yeah,
hurting people's feelings was very easy.
Right.
I mean, now it's pretty bad, but like, I'm better as a person because I watch myself now. Like,
I feel like you check yourself now. You're like, you catch yourself. You're like, hold on, let me not say that.
Yeah, because to this day, there are still moments where I want to be like, your mama's a bitch.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so we have almost hit our hour mark. So I wanted to close this out by saying I really want to know if y'all would be interested in doing a live talking about the gender war that's going on right now in the Black community. That's like Black men against Black women.
We can't go. We
and
can't
how bad
have
it's
a
gotten.
gender war conversation without inviting men to the conversation and trans people to the conversation. Like, we would have to invite people to the conversation because the majority of our audience identify as female, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I definitely think we could have like a part 1 and a part 2 because there's just so much to cover.
It's a lot.
There's a lot going on, and we live in a time where like the Kevin Samuelses of the world can rise up and become successful from bashing Black women. And it's just very interesting. It's very, very interesting to see what's going on. So I think that because we are a self-proclaimed safe space for Black women and women who identify as Black women online, I think this is an important conversation to have because it's been going on so many different platforms all over YouTube in so many different forms. So if y'all are interested in having that conversation, it's definitely something that's been in the back of my mind of something to bring.
I obviously would love to have this conversation because I definitely tried online dating again and it just really reiterated some things for me. So I would love it. Also, there's this very attractive dark-skinned Black man that's also a therapist that be on TikTok dropping knowledge on this particular subject. Yeah.
Ooh. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like, it feels like things are getting worse by the day. Like, I'm just like, oh my God.
I truly believe that it's two parties of people angry and hurt and trying to find the blame. And then with social media, it's just perpetuated in this way where we only see the negatives.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's not like, you don't see as much uplifting as you do dragging because dragging gets more views than the upliftment.
That's true. And I feel like, not to bring his name up again, but Kevin Samuels and his ilk.
If you keep calling him, his Samuel lights will be here soon.
I know, but I mean, I actually don't have like, I have mixed feelings about him. Like, I'm not like against him, but I'm not for him. But
I've only said that everything's. I can agree to some of the things that he says, but delivery is everything.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say
by that.
No, I agree, and I was gonna say, I think him and his ilk hide behind the whole concept of like, well, we're just telling the truth, and the truth is harsh, and we have to wake up the community, and da 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 da. And on one hand, I'm like, okay, but on the other hand, it reminds me of when, my friend's mom used to say, don't you embarrass me out here in front of these white people. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's just, I was wondering what you were going to say, and that's not like nothing in my brain.
No, but you know what I'm saying?
But you're right, though.
Like, let's not fight in front of company. Like, let's not fight in front of the world. Like, don't sell our harsh truths in front of everybody. Like, this is not the way to do it. It's just not, because it just makes us look even more dysfunctional than you're saying we already are.
I love my Black men. They can get on my nerves all day, but I'm not about to go on social media and drag them. It's not happening. It's kind of how like when we, for example, like when we went to go see Black Panther. Yeah, I might have had some criticisms for Black Panther, but you know where I'm not gonna put it? The internet. Online. You know who I'm gonna talk to? My nerd group in person.
This is facts.
As far as everybody else is concerned, I did go see it 4 times and I regret nothing.
I regret nothing. Yeah, I saw it 3 times. But yeah, it's just gotten out of hand. Like, And I just thought it would be interesting for us to add our 2 cents, and maybe we could have a part 1 and a part 2. Part 1 with us, and maybe if any other people would like to join in a part 2 where we can invite men to the table. It's a little harder to invite men because I feel like men feel hesitant to speak, especially in the bookish space on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that might be a little difficult, but we'll see.
I think we have to step away from the book community to have this conversation.
Oh, we would absolutely have to.
Yeah, but also I think that because we are Black women, like we can just cater the conversation to us.
This is true.
And have the conversation amongst ourselves, because obviously we do need to check. There are some things that we also need to check within ourselves.
I agree.
As well. So like maybe we could just have a conversation where it's like woman to woman, let's chat.
I think that sounds good. So maybe we could schedule that for July. So just giving you guys a quick rundown before we wrap up this live. Our next book is a mystery. We have it in a banner at the bottom. It's called Hollywood Homicide by Kelly Garrett, and we will be discussing it in the third Sunday of the month in August. Also in August, we will be doing our Naked Readathon, and I think we agreed on doing it. Did we say we were going to do it for the whole month or for a week?
No, we're doing the watered down version this year because we just don't have the financial ability to do it as big as we wanted to. Yeah, and it's only for a week, and we're giving you the reading prompts and all of that stuff. But we'll be announcing that in August. Don't forget, July is Chronicle of Noria's Fuckathon. If you are looking for an interesting month-long readathon, I highly recommend you go check out her channel. She has already posted. She's already posted the video for the prompts and started making suggestion videos. You can buy merch from her Teespring account. And yes, Melanin Eclectic did the logo. So you can also buy reading badges, a holographic print, and bookmarks from melanineclectic.com.
Yes. And I'm trying to think of what else is going on in July. In July, we are thinking of having our colorism panel. We will keep y'all updated on that. And then we're just going to have our regular schedule in July. We're going to have our podcast on Monday nights, 2 podcasts and 1 live show. Which is either going to be the colorism panel if we can pull it together. If not, we will try to have a special guest for y'all so we can spice things up.
Yeah. Let us pray nothing else happens, because every time we schedule a colorism conversation,
the world goes to hell.
The Black community gets knocked the hell out again, and we're just sitting there like, we can't have this conversation right now. We're grieving again.
So yes, and if you are interested in participating in our colorism panel, you can send us an email to. Let me pull up our email, because I think it's black.prose3@gmail.com, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, remember, like,
yes,
we decided that the colorism conversation is going to be more than just one special guest. It's going to be all of us having a conversation. So if you actually want to join us on the live and have your voice heard, send us that email. We do ask that you have a decent mic or headphone set or something so that we can try to keep the feedback down as low as possible. But other than that, we want to hear directly from you guys and actually have a conversation as a whole group.
Yes, it's going to be a call-in show, and no, you do not have to show your face if you do not want to. It's completely optional, but it's going to be a call-in show here on StreamYard. And so send us an email on black.prose3@gmail.com if you would like to participate in that conversation, and we'd be more than happy to have you. And that is it for this month. We are wrapping out June with this podcast. We will see y'all in July with our Monday night podcast topic to be announced. Thank you so much.
If you want to talk about anything specific in a podcast, you are also free to hit us up with idea suggestions for that too. Because we come on here and just chat with you guys, and it's been pretty lit. So we're satisfied with this.
Yes. And that is it for tonight's podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any specific questions, you can leave them in the comments and we will do our best to answer. And we will catch y'all in July.
Bye, guys.
Bye.